What's up, everybody? Bradley Scott coming at you for May the 10th, 2017 for my review on NXT and my reactions and so forth. So, without further ado, let's get into this, all right? We're going to talk about the main event. It was Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong in the main event. And the winner would go on to face Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Now, the thing about NXT versus the other WWE shows is they know how to put emphasis on the matches, which I think is very telling about who's running the show backstage. You know, there are some wrestling people involved. It's not so overly scripted or whatever. You know, it's a little bit more organic, okay? But I'm going to talk about that as well tonight, because I did see about a handful of things that I would be like, what in the world was that? All right, so the show started off with Aleister Black against, what's his name? Cesar Bononi. The guy got beat. Pretty forgettable match, and I'm sure Aleister Black would like to forget about it as well, because the punches and the kicks, not so much Aleister Black, because he threw some pretty stiff shots in there, but this Caesar guy, well put together athlete, he's in shape, he's all Abercrombie and Fitched up for him, but here's the thing, he sucked. Like, his punches and his kicks looked really weak. There was really no intensity. It looked choreographed. You know, I know wrestling is like simulated combat, but it just, I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying when I say that. If you watch the match, you'll know what I'm talking about. Pretty weak punches, pretty weak kicks. You know. Then the next segment saw a recap of the Women's Battle Royal, and then they showed the ending where Asuka interfered, creating this whole squash at the end. And so Asuka's like, you know, nobody's ready for Asuka kind of a deal. So they show the footage of William Regal tracking down Asuka backstage, and he's like, now you're going to face all of those ladies. Okay, so Asuka's got this look on her like, oh, crap. Oh. So she's kind of huffy and puffy about it, kind of. Like, oops, I didn't mean to go that far, but I guess I'll deal with it, kind of a look. Okay. So you can read Asuka's face. There was some emotion there. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because then they cut to the medics room where Ember Moon took that nasty bump on the floor when she went diving through the ropes. Okay, so they show Ember Moon getting a sling put on her shoulder. You know, putting her arm in a sling. So then there's an interview. He's coming out of the office, and Ember Moon, you know, there's like no emotion for this chick. You know? Like, where's the fire? Where's the disappointment? Where's the bitter and resentment? Asuka, I'm going to come back to kick your ass, girl. You know what I'm saying? There was none of that there. It was just like, when I come back, I'm going to be even better. Really? Because it seems like you should have been better anyway. My point is, pretty stale, pretty awful, pretty cringe. That's the first cringe moment of the night. Then they announce that Pete Dunne will challenge Tyler Bate for the UK Championship. This is a rematch from the UK tournament that took place a couple of months back on the network, which is an excellent event. If you did not get a chance to watch it while it was going on, if you've got the network, I highly suggest that you at least go back and watch the final match, which was Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Tyler Bate is the current UK champion. Man, those guys, this match absolutely could steal the show because they've announced this to be a title match, a UK title match at TakeOver Chicago. That absolutely could steal the show. Okay? Then, since it's now a triple threat ladies match, Asuka defending against Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott. Now, they show Ruby Riott talking to the camera. She's in a tattoo shop, picking out a tattoo. Just kind of a backstory piece, you know. And so then they show this sit-down interview with Nikki Cross, which she's Nikki Cross, man. And she did this really, like, she's crazed and she's depraved and all this kind of stuff. And it was really good. If it were me, you know, that would be my pick. You know, if it wasn't Asuka, I'd probably have Nikki Cross be the champion. You know, because Nikki Cross is really owning this character and it's really good. So I think the ladies match and I think that the UK title match, those are going to be the two matches to watch at TakeOver. Okay? Then we see Drew McIntyre backstage being interviewed in these stale, cheesy, scripted promos. And Wesley Blake comes and he interrupts. Like this is supposed to do something, right? That's the second cringe. So it was really awful. Then they show a promo of the Velveteen Dream. I have nothing to say. I don't know what this is going to be. Maybe some sort of a Tyler Breeze Prince type character. Who knows? Don't really know. DIY. I've got my notes here. I'm trying to make it a good review here. DIY comes out. The crowd loves DIY, but I think DIY's time has come to either A, go to the main roster, or B, that can be your feud during the summer. Okay? So here's the thing. DIY says, hey, we are the rightful heirs to the contendership spot for the Authors of Pain. Well, here comes Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss to, again, interrupt this promo. I don't know what this is all about. I guess this is a new thing. Or maybe they're just overdoing this crap. Sabatelli and Moss said, oh yeah, well the line starts behind us. And then Tommaso Ciampa lays into Sabatelli and an impromptu tag match begins. And so William Regal, who likes to come out and order matches and do this, Tom Phillips says on his headset, well, we just heard from William Regal and he's made this match official. Well, they didn't know that. When was it made known to the audience? When was it made known to DIY that this match is made official? These guys are making their own matches. Please. Tom Phillips, the people watching, myself, and his two announce partners, Percy Watson and Nigel McGuinness, we're the only ones that know that this match has been made official. Anyway, and there's a referee there. DIY wins the match, okay? And then here comes William Regal. Now he comes out and says, "Hey, well, I know who's going to be wrestling Authors of Pain." So then here comes Paul Ellering, and he gives, like, whoever wrote the Undertaker promo for the Hell in a Cell match, almost exact quote. He says, "The blood of DIY is going to be on your hands." All right. Maybe if I was like 10 years old or something. No, I don't even want to insult 10-year-olds. But who writes this crap? Is this NXT? Seriously, man. You're going to try to tell Paul Ellering how to write it, tell him what to say. Give me a break. Anyway, so he's getting ready to walk off, and William Regal says, "Well, don't you want to hear what the stipulation's going to be?" And Paul Ellering turns back around. They all three turn back around. And they're like, "What is it?" "I'm going to take those tag team championship belts, or titles." He don't say belts. "And I'm going to hang them above the ring, and it's going to be a ladder match." Crowd loves it. I'm like, all right, cool. This is going to be good. Cool. Authors of Pain in a ladder match. I don't know how well that's going to work. I expect Authors of Pain to keep the titles, but could be some pretty sick spots in there. You know what I'm saying?